Okay, this is going to be a pre-recording of a introduction to types of chemical bonds. At this point in time, you've already watched a video on bonding, and my goal for you, or objective or outcome, is that you can identify what type of bonding is taking place. So, with that being said, there are three types of bonding. The first one is ionic. Ionic is, first of all, to recap, bonding takes place with electrons. If you understand what the electrons are doing, you can understand what type of bonding. So, ionic is a give and take. Atoms give up electrons and other atoms take electrons, and ions are formed. They become either a positive ion or a negative ion. And on this screen, it says it's a give and take. Ions are formed, a metal with a non-metal. Okay, and when we talk about a metal with a non-metal, if it falls into this area here, these are the metals, and it is going to combine with something that is a non-metal in here. Okay, now noble gases aren't going to combine at all because they're happy. They have the right number of electrons. Okay, so if it's an ion, I say it's going to be something from the left with something from the right. Normally it's groups 1 and 2 combining with 6 and 7, or it could be 1, 2, and 3 combining with 5, 6, and 7. But it's a give and take type of situations. Covalent is sharing. Now, electrons are going to be shared. Ions are not formed because it's a sharing. And it's only non-metals or the right-hand side. So when we take a look at covalent, these elements over here, just these, like oxygen, O2, is going to combine together with itself. And that is going to be a covalent. Chlorine, fluorine, nitrogen, when they combine by themselves, or like carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide, that's two non-metals that will be covalent. With this being said, hydrogen is over here, and it's not in group 1. It's not a metal, it's a gas. And anytime you see hydrogen, it is going to be covalent. Hydrogen has one electron, and it is only going to share. It will never, ever, ever give up its electron, because once it gives up its electron, it's just a proton. That's all that's left. So anytime you see hydrogen, it is going to be covalent. And the third type of bonding is metallic. And this is going to be just metals. And I like to call it a sea of electrons. That there are so many electrons that it's just happy being there. And when we take a look at them, these are going to be the metals. So I say middle to middle right. These are the metals that for the most part are going to form that way. And if you think about it as being a metal like iron, zinc, aluminum, those are going to be the ones that are going to form metallic bonds. Okay, so I'm going to go through and I'm going to show you a slide, and I'm going to talk about what's going on, and then I'm going to talk about what type of bond it is. Okay, so this picture here, it shows that, and I think I'm going to try presenting to at this point. Okay, so this shows that sodium is giving up an electron. So if it's giving up an electron, that is going to be ionic. It's going to be give and take. Sodium is going to end up with a positive charge. Chlorine is going to end up with a negative charge. This one here, it looks like we have this electron leaving. So if it's leaving, this is going to be ionic. This is going to be something, this is going to be element number 3, or in the first table, because it has, first group, because it has one electron. and this has 7 electrons. So this is something from the left hooking up with something from the right. Hydrogen, key to hydrogen is anytime you see it, it's going to be covalent. And this here, the way it is laid out, shows that it is going to be covalent. Hydrogen needs 2 electrons in its outermost shell to feel happy. So this feels happy. This one feels happy. Oxygen needs 8. It's got 2, 4, 6, 8. It's happy. Okay, so what do we got going on here? We have magnesium and chlorine, and it looks like magnesium has 2 electrons in its outermost shell, and it is sending its electrons to chlorine, and it looks like chlorine has 7 electrons in its outermost shell. So something from the left is hooking up with something from the right. So this is going to be ionic. Magnesium will end up with a +2 charge, and each chlorine will end up with a -1 charge. Zinc in a sea of electrons. So this is going to be your metallic bonding, just electrons everywhere. So this is a metal with a non-metal. So something from the left hooking up with something from the right, that is going to be an ionic bond. Ions are going to be formed. Ooh, chlorine. So this shows chlorine in group 7 hooking up with chlorine in group 7. And these, well, if each chlorine kind of shares one, this chlorine has 8 and that chlorine has 8. So if it's sharing, that's going to be covalent. Ooh, dead giveaway, hydrogen. Anytime we see hydrogen, this is going to be covalent with carbon. Carbon has 4 electrons in its outermost shell, so it's going to share 1 with each hydrogen. So this hydrogen has, when it shares 1, is happy with 2. That hydrogen's happy with 2. That hydrogen's happy with 2. This hydrogen's happy with 2. And chlorine feels like it has 8. So that is covalent. A non-metal plus a non-metal. Right-hand side, that's going to be sharing. That's going to be covalent. Oh, another sea of electrons. This is going to be metallic. It doesn't matter what type of atoms they are. This just shows that there are electrons everywhere. Oh, so here we have, it looks like this electron is being given transfer of electron, and an ion is formed. So if an ion is formed, then we have ionic bonding. So this side here is given up and it will become positive. This side is taking an electron and it'll be negative. HCl, well, there's hydrogen. Anytime we see hydrogen, we know it's going to be covalent. Hydrogen has 1 electron. Chlorine has 7 electrons in its outermost shell. So hydrogen and chlorine are going to share. That will be covalent. Oh, there's hydrogen again. Even though it's more complicated, hydrogen is going to share, each hydrogen is going to share 1. Nitrogen has 5 in its outermost shell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if it shares, it's going to feel like it has 2, 4, 6, 8. So nitrogen's happy and hydrogen's happy, and we have ammonia. Oh, this is a sea of electrons. So the electrons are just moving about. It doesn't matter what type of atom it is, but the electrons are just moving around, so this will be metallic bonding. Fluorine, it looks like they are going to be sharing. Fluorine is in group 7, so that means that it's on the right-hand side. So 2 things on the right-hand side, 2 nonmetals, and sharing. This is going to be covalent. Oh, there's our sea of electrons. In this case, it's telling us that it's copper in a sea of electrons, so that's going to be metallic. Hydrogen, as soon as we see hydrogen, we have covalent. Hydrogen is sharing with copper. This right here says sharing of electrons. So this has 1 electron and that has 1 electron. and here they are sharing electrons, so that's going to be covalent. I like this. Two atoms talking to another. I'm about to lose an electron. Are you sure? I'm positive. Okay, so actually, this is going to be ionic bonding because we have a positive ion formed because it lost an electron, and we have a negative ion formed because it gained an electron. So I'm going to end with that stupidity thing because that's the way I roll. Have a great day.